CNF Worldwide for nomads everywhere.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Rick Carter here with CNF Worldwide, and today we are in lovely Pickerington, Ohio, at Hangry City, a new eatery here owned by Jason and Amber. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And before we dive into the meat of the conversation, we just came from a meeting with the Teresa Byers over at the Chamber of Commerce, who tells us you guys just won the award for Rising Star New Business in Pickerington.
Yes, we did last Friday night.
Tell us about that a little bit.
So it was a award that was offered by our Pickerington Area Chamber of Commerce. They nominate multiple different businesses, and then the chamber itself chooses out of the top 2 businesses who they feel are going to be the people who are connected most with the community, who are rising in the community and being a part of all of it. So we were honored to be chosen.
Very, very cool.
Uh-huh.
So we're sitting here at Hangry City. You guys get ready to open here in a few minutes. Yes. and feed the public. What was the inspiration for opening this restaurant?
My husband. My husband has always put together strange concoctions with food at home for years. He went to culinary school and then had worked for McDonald's for about 21 years. Didn't like the corporateness of everything, wanted to be able to put together his own thing and really just be able to make people happy. So over a lot of years of having some drinks and putting weird stuff together, we finally got smart enough to start writing it down. So we finally started making some lists and held it until we had an opportunity.
So are you guys natives to the Pickerington area?
We've been in Pickerington for about 5 years. My husband is originally from Texas, and I was raised in Northeast Ohio outside of Youngstown. So we've been in Columbus for about 15 years and then Pickerington for 5.
So what brought you guys to this area?
I went to Ohio State University for undergrad and then grad school, and we just stayed. We love the area.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So you made all these concoctions. Mm-hmm. You're sitting home drinking a beer, drinking a glass of wine. Yep. Let's see what we can whip up. And you finally started saving the recipes. Mm-hmm. At what point in time or what was the event that made you say, you know what, this is really good food. We probably could sell this and have a restaurant, and the people would really enjoy this too.
Yeah, we actually did a birthday party for our good friends. It was his, I think, 40th, and we offered as a present to him to essentially cater. We just said, we'll do all the cooking, we'll take care of everybody. You just have your friends over and drink. So Jason and I set up some recipes and did sliders for the whit bulk of them, and these were people we didn't know very much, and all of the feedback was, this is really good, you could sell this, I would pay for this. So it kind of gave us that confidence to say, what could we do?
So enthusiastic feedback from people who weren't naturally inclined to just say, oh, it's great because they were your friends. Yes. So strangers telling you your food was great and you're like, maybe we could do this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So once that decision was made, how did you guys go about putting together a business plan, funding, setting this up? How did you put it all together?
Well, so initially we always thought we would get a food truck. We always thought that would be the first step, and it kind of just got pushed and pushed and pushed. One day we actually came here to the restaurant that was in this space previously because it was somewhere that we were coming for happy hour. We found a sign on the door that they had closed unexpectedly and that the space was up. So we just called to see what would happen. And ended up being able to speak with the realtor and ended up meeting with the prior owners who, it was also a family business. They wanted to get out. We wanted to get in. We met with some banks to try to get things in place and ended up being able to work out a agreement with the prior owners to essentially do a give and a take with them. They didn't want what they were doing. We did. So we put together some things and ended up kind of doing more of a agreement with them rather than the traditional business loan, business plan. We did put together a business plan to show them and put together all of that, and it was truthfully a guess. I mean, it truthfully a guess. We have some really good friends who have who have set up and run their own business, and not a restaurant, but their own business in Northeast Ohio. So we utilize their knowledge and skills a lot. And really, he was the first one to say, you're really just guessing. You're trying.
The banks don't want to hear this, but
I know.
but everyone is.
Yes. Everyone
every
is just
business out
guessing.
there's a reason they call them assumptions
Yes.
in the business plan. And yeah, so
Yes.
you're not alone in the guessing.
Yeah.
So once you started down that road, you said, oh my God, this is going to happen. We better put together a menu.
Mm-hmm.
We better have an ambiance of how we want our restaurant to be.
Yeah.
Tell me how you guys pulled all that together.
It was very much kind of 0 to 60. We figured out that this was going to be a thing in March of 2018 and then had signed by May. So it was finishing out the menu that we already had the bones for, and then doing a lot of research, like figuring out what things cost, how to put cost out there that we would attract the Pickerington community without, losing money. It was a lot of research. My mother and my brother-in-law are also huge parts of all of this. So it was a lot of brains coming to the table all at once and then utilizing a lot of our resources. We found through this that we have a ton of people who know a lot of things, and we utilize them a lot.
So it's interesting because so you guys have been making this great food and people are telling you you should have a restaurant, and you started down the road and you don't even really know precisely what it's going to cost you to make the dishes and to scale them to feed all the people that are going to walk through your door, not just your friends at a party.
Yeah.
So that all kind of evolved.
It evolved quickly, with a lot of research, and we did really find that when we started asking the questions to people, that anybody who had at least a nugget of knowledge was very free with giving it. We had a lot of people who were very much like, I can get you in touch with this person. I can get you in touch with this person. So the amount of support that we ended up finding that we had in putting it all together was kind of overwhelming.
So as you started the process and you're doing all this research and you're pulling the costs together and you're figuring out, what the restaurant's going to look like, did you ever have a day where you're going, man, can we really do this?
Oh, pretty much every day for about 2 months. And then even after we opened, it was about another month of, can we really do this? Are we doing it wrong? And I think it was just a very much a living and learning kind of a thing, figuring it out and then making adjustments very quickly. That's one of the things that I think really we were in a position to do, was that we figured out we would put something out or do something and then it wouldn't work, or it didn't work the way that we wanted it to. So we were able to be flexible and change things very quickly, like just with what was on our menu, the products that we were utilizing. The fact that we didn't think very much about how to put the bar together. We were so focused on food, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, crap, there's a bar. Like, we need to do all of that too. So all of that, just learning how to obtain kegs was like a lesson in itself.
So this whole process, more scary or fun?
Initially, it was a very nice mixture of both. Then it got a little scary. Now it's pretty fun.
Yeah. So, and it's been interesting as we've been going around the country interviewing people. People have been very free with telling us, yeah, we had this idea and we cranked it up and we really didn't know what we're doing.
Nope.
But we knew we were good at doing this one thing, be
Yep.
it brewing beer or making coffee or creating certain foods.
Yeah.
But we didn't really know about doing the whole business side.
Yep.
So, where did you go or who did you look to get help with putting together a business plan and funding it and pulling all this together?
Really, our friends in Northeast Ohio who run a business up there, they were very helpful with doing a lot of different things, figuring out, because they had gone through all of it and they didn't know what they were doing when they started either. So their lessons really helped us. We also got connected to a small business payroll service here in Pickerington by the prior owners of the restaurant that was here previously. And they kind of stepped in and gave us a lot of direction, helped us to connect with a lot of other people. That's actually how we got connected with the chamber as well. The chamber offers a lot of supportive services and everything that we just haven't had time to utilize. So they're definitely there. But we've been more one-on-one with people. Just kind of directing us in a lot of things. And we were lucky enough to have some savings and things that we were able to pour in. And that was kind of where we started. We didn't know if it would be enough. We didn't know what we would need to do, but we kind of figured out we would just figure it out.
And the damn torpedoes full speed ahead?
Exactly. It was, very much.
So now you're open. So tell us about these delicious food concoctions that you guys have come up with. If I come here for lunch at Hangry City, which I'm doing today,
Good.
Tell us what we can see on your menu.
So we have a full menu of multiple different appetizers, like fried pickles that are hand done by my mom. They're pretty amazing. Everybody usually loves them. And our Hangry Tots, which are our tater tots with our homemade slow roasted pulled pork and our homemade barbecue sauce. They're pretty awesome.
Pulled pork.
I know. So we have a lot of different appetizers, and then we have basically 12 main sliders. So the sliders are all a mixture of beef, chicken, or fish. They're made to come in combinations of 2 or 3 with a side, and you can mix and match the sliders. We thought that was one of the best options of sliders because you can put just about anything on a slider.
Sure can.
But most places make you commit to one thing. So we don't. We let you try a variety. And then we have our homemade macaroni and cheese, also made by my mom, and our Parmesan herb fries and tots. So we kind of have a very simplistic menu. We focus very much on the slider portions of things. People ask us all the time, oh, do you have pasta? And are you going to expand the menu? No, we're going to stick with what we know.
So you're going to do what you do well.
Yes.
And that's going to be the heart of the business.
Exactly.
I would say that's a really great idea.
Yeah.
So you talked about the bar, and you didn't really think about the bar too much.
Nope.
So tell us how you eventually pulled the bar together. What can we expect to find here as far as beers, wines, cocktails?
Yeah. So we actually based a lot of the beer stuff, or a lot of the bar in itself, on what we drank at home. We kind of figured out that we really like certain things. We don't like mixes. We don't like sweet and sours. We like things that are simplistic and just good. Good quality ingredients, good quality liquors. We don't do anything that's necessarily like bottom shelf or anything like that. You'll find things that are our main, what we offer to our guests as like what would be considered in other places as like a higher level liquor. Okay. So we don't tend to do a lot of mixes and things like that. So we like to do simplistic, good drinks that are easy.
So just out of curiosity, did you know, and I've had 3 children, all of whom have worked in the restaurant, and my daughters who have actually managed restaurants. And I hear a lot about the flavor profile. Did you guys try to kind of mad scientist concoct cocktails that kind of blended with your menu?
No.
Come on in, folks.
Come on in, have a seat. We picked out things that we knew we liked, like things that we would have a margarita at home. Like the margarita recipes that are on our menu are margaritas that we made at home, because they're good, and they're, just something that you can have that goes well with a burger. Some of the other recipes actually came from our staff. We were really, really lucky to hire in 3 bartenders initially from the get-go who knew what they were doing and who helped us kind of concoct a lot of different pieces and parts. We also usually do like a drink of the day, which extends a little bit, so they've all contributed to that. And then the things that people have liked, we've kept. So we kind of have an ongoing ability to have our staff be a part of that drink menu, and just offering something different too.
So it constantly evolves based on customer and staff feedback?
Yes.
Is the deal.
Right now we have we have a drink menu printed, but we're moving into a way that we can make it a little less set and a little bit more evolving. The beers have all kind of come from, again, sort of what we like. We just started there and then evolved by what our customers were liking. We noticed that people here really like to have a lot of lighter beers, so we keep a good local variety that's always evolving.
Yeah, so I've noticed that as we come around, we've done some video shoots here of the inside of the building. You guys are paying a bit of a homage to like local craft brewers. I see we've got Combustion and Hoof Hearted and some other ones here.
Yep.
So could we expect to find a good lineup of local craft beers here?
Yep, we do. We pretty much have all local beers on all the time. Every once in a while, there'll be like a national brand that you may see just because we wanted to throw it on. But primarily, we are all local Ohio-made beers. We have an agreement with Combustion. We're actually the first people to sell Combustion outside of Combustion. So it was an amazing opportunity meeting Keith and Sarah and having that ability to make that local family connection to say, let us be your guinea pigs and let's try this.
That's very cool. So, excuse me, I'll do that again. So, in addition to the food and the drinks, any special events, any things you have here that people should know about, that they might bring them in here to try your food?
Yeah, we all have live music, usually at least once a month, sometimes twice, depending upon what's going on. We also usually do a monthly vendor fair where we have small business vendors. So like it's mostly ladies who have their own small businesses. Either they sell Scentsy or they sell LuLaRoe or different things that we invite them in once a month to be kind of a vendor inside of us. So then they have a group of people who coming in for dinner can buy from them.
Well, let's talk about that. So you're basically doing like small business pop-ups in your space.
Yeah.
We were just at a establishment in Wheeling, West Virginia yesterday, similar in size to yours, and they've got their motif is tacos is their thing, you know, and they're good, just like I'm sure your sliders are going to be great.
Yeah.
But we interviewed them and a local brewer, like your combustion relationship, but we also brought in a company that makes locally themed clothing and stuff like that, who had just had a pop-up in their restaurant on Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you see this as a thing? Because part of what CNF does is we're traveling around the country to promote small businesses, entrepreneurs, people who are out there putting in the effort, getting it done. And we're finding a lot of people who are like helping each other. Like people like you in combustion, they referred us to come to talk to you.
Yeah.
It seems like there's this sense of community that small businesses in these small towns, everybody's helping each other.
There really is. I think that you realize how much work goes into any type of small business, whether it's, making a shirt or running a restaurant. There's so much work and commitment. And I think that when you're in that community, you just start to really respect it. So you want to do anything like it, just like you'd help somebody on the street with a flat tire. Like I want to promote them, especially the people that we've gotten to know and who are, just committed as much as we are. I'd love to give them a stage to, help, and it helps us too, because it's a symbiotic relationship. Somebody that may want to come to them would try our food.
Fantastic. So we're going to go all the way back to the beginning of the conversation where you talked about you were going to start out with a food truck, something like that. Any thoughts of taking this thing mobile? And I know I'm maybe getting the car way out in front of the horse here, because if people listen to this conversation, we're sitting here in February 2019. We're way less than a year since you started really down this road.
Yeah.
But any thoughts now? Have you gotten far enough where you're turning and looking forward, going, maybe we add a food truck, maybe we do catering, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's all been questions from our guests. It's all been pieces on our brain. I think we're just now at a point where we can stop running around like chickens with our head cut off and be able to look forward and not just surviving. So that's really exciting. I think one of the best things that we'll do is this summer we're going to be vendors at the Sonic Temple Festival that used to be called Rock on the Range. So it's a big rock concert, 3-day rock concert here in Columbus. So I think that will be our first test of being outside of our comfort zone and seeing what it looks like, how it works, and then hopefully being able to take some of those concepts and put it into a food truck in the future.
Fantastic. So, absent the food truck, all the people, the millions of people who fly down I-70 just a few minutes from you here as they're zipping through Ohio. Yeah. If they're coming through Ohio and they're hungry, how can they find Hangry City?
Right now, we are on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Google. We are working on a web page that'll be up in the next couple of months. But right now, Facebook is our number one communicator, as well as Instagram.
And I believe geographically, we're right off of exit 112 on I-70, just east of Columbus, Ohio. Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, all over America, as you're taking your trips through the Midwest, stop on your way through Ohio, pull off at exit 112, and I swear to God, it's like less than 2 minutes down the road to Hangry City. You'll be glad you did. You can meet Amber and Jason, the owners, and their super friendly staff, and you can eat their super yummy food. And before we close here, if you could tell the whole world anything about Hangry City, what would you say?
I would say that we are your neighborhood restaurant. We're comfortable for somewhere to bring your mom, somewhere to bring your friend who's in from out of town, as well as your kiddos, or a great date night.
There you go, guys. So the next time you're in the Columbus area, find your way to Hangry City, meet Jason and Amber, enjoy the food. And until next time, we're CNF Worldwide. Thanks for being here.
CNF Worldwide, for nomads everywhere.
This broadcast was produced by CNF Limited for nomads everywhere. The contents of this broadcast are the property of CNF Limited. All rights are reserved. For more information about CNF publications, contact us at 305-707-4024. Find us on the web at cnfltd.com.